Good morning. We are Group 5, and today we're presenting our findings on our analysis of Community Security Perception Survey. This is the overview of our presentation, starting from the introduction, then towards the respondents profile, our group's assigned survey question, and lastly, our group's findings of our survey. Starting with the introduction, this study focuses on understanding how people in and around our community area perceive their daily sense of security. Security perception is important because it influences how people move, interact, and feel within our community. By examining these responses, we can identify patterns and areas that may require improvement, not just for safety, but for overall community well-being. This is our respondents profile. We have gathered a response from 61 individuals, and this came from a mixed use of students, workers, residents, and small business owners. These groups represent our different daily routines and experience. Some are in an area for school, some for work, and some because it's their home. This diversity ensures that our findings reflects a wide range of experience, making the results more reliable and representative of the actual conditions of the community. Here's our group's assigned survey question. On a scale of 1 to 5, rate your perceived security in your community. 1 is for weak and 5 is for strong, and why? A score of 1 meant the respondents will feel very unsafe in the community, while 5 indicates that they have a very sense of, strong safety in the community. This rating system allows us to quantify how people feel and also makes it easier to analyze the trends in perception, whether people lean towards feeling unsafe, neutral, or overall very safe. Here, we're going to present the findings of our quantitative and qualitative research of our survey. Here is our quantitative findings. 2 respondents rated their security as 1, meaning they feel very unsafe in the community. 5 respondents gave a rating of 2, showing they have a mild to moderate concerns of the safety of their community. 19 respondents rated the community and security as 3, showcasing a neutral to average sense of safety. 24 respondents gave a score of 4, indicating that they generally feel safe in the community. And lastly, 11 respondents rated the community as 5, meaning they feel overall very safe. When we put these numbers together, we see that a majority of respondents fall within 3 to 4 ranges, which suggests that most community members feel slightly to above neutral when it comes to safety. It shows that most respondents overall has a moderate levels of safety, reflecting the community that feels neither fully secure nor highly threatened. Highly safety ratings were commonly associated with the areas that have visual guards, good lighting, and steady foot traffics, which helps create a sense of security. In contrast, lower ratings were linked towards dark alleys, the presence of loiterers, and limited surveillances, highlighting specific locations where people feel more vulnerable and not safe in the community.
For the qualitative findings naman, we divided it into 7 categories. First is the spatial distribution of safety perception. Dito sinasabi na ang safety daw ay nakadepende sa location. Katulad ng mga areas na may school, commercial establishments, at sa mga spaces na may constant foot traffic. In contrast, side alleys and quiet corners naman katulad na lang ng mga eskinita. So this reflects typical urban planning challenges. Dito din sinasabi na meron talagang safer and riskier zones sa isang community. Next is the time-based variations in sense of security. Dito naman ang suggest nila ay a day versus night divide. So people feel more comfortable sa umaga or sa may araw dahil mas nakikita sila dito. Mas madaming tao ang busy at may regular movement ng pedestrians and vehicles. Unlike sa gabi, mas madami ang natatakot dahil mas maunti ang tao at may mga groups na naglo-loiter in certain areas. So this highlights the importance of 24-hour safety planning, lalo na sa mga lighting systems, night patrols, at sa mga active public spaces. Next is the difference across demographic groups. So occupation affects perception. Dito sinasabi na mas natatakot ang vendors and business owners sa magnanakaw. Unlike sa mga commuters, natatakot sila dahil mag-isa sila. So gender also emerges subtly in responses dahil mas madami daw concern ang mga women lalo na pag sila ay solo or sa gabi. And this aligns with inclusive planning na hindi lang pang general population but also for vulnerable groups like the women, LGBT, and other individuals. Next is the influence of urban form and physical design. Dito naman pumapasok ang physical elements kung paano nagiging komportable ang mga tao sa mga ganitong structures. Katulad na lang ng streets with low visibility or blind spots, open lots with no defined purpose, crowded spaces where movement is obstructed, and structural decay in older buildings. So it shows how urban design directly contributes to either promoting or discouraging a sense of safety. Next is the institutional presence and community governance. Dito naman pumapasok ang visibility ng security systems, guards, checkpoints, at mga barangay staff. Katulad na lang ng mga tanod. Next is the behavioral impacts on daily life. Dito sinasabi na ang tao daw nag-a-adjust kung kailan nila nafe-feel na safe sila. Katulad na lang ng mga routines na ginagawa nila araw-araw. So these behavioral shifts reveal how perceived safety influences mobility, comfort, and social participation, which are the core elements of livability. Last is the identified hotspots and big points. So dito naman yung mga problems ng isang community. Katulad na lang ng dimly lit walkways or alleys, corners where loiterers gather, old or neglected structures that feel unsafe, locations where petty crime or aggressive solicitation happens, katulad na lang ng recto, at mga spaces with unclear or weak surveillance. So dapat natin i-priority to, lalo na ng mga planners, para ito yung guide nila kung paano nila i-intervent ang mga lighting systems at mga design improvements sa isang community. So in conclusion, ito dapat yung mga dapat i-improve natin. Katulad na lang ng design of public spaces, lalo na ang lighting at pedestrian paths. Next is the functionality of infrastructure, lalo na ang CCTV dahil ito ang surveillance pag walang mga tanod or mga police. And the presence of community institution, mga tanod at mga police patrols. At hindi mawawala ang overall trust between residents and local authorities dahil sa kanila naman dapat talaga magsimula ang trust na binibigay ng mga tao. So when these elements work together, the community becomes more resilient, more active, and more livable for everyone. Thank you.